Chris Bumstead not retired and competing in Open in 2024? The reasons and clues as to why I think Cbum is 3 weeks out right now. What's up, desktopers? Xavier Wills here for Desktop Bodybuilding, and we are back with another video. So I was checking out Bro Chat the other day with Fouad Abiad, Martin Fitzwater, Brett Wilkin, and Stefan Kinzel? Regardless, Boss of Outlaw on Instagram, many of you guys know him as that. Now, they were having a discussion about who might be doing the Prague Pro, because Martin Fitzwater just announced he was doing that contest, which is incredibly exciting and a great way for him to qualify for that 2025 Mr. Olympia. So, great call on Martin's part, but this was the discussion, and I was going to make a video regardless, before this Cbum update came out, where he said about the weight limit and all that sort of stuff, and we'll get into that. Before that came out, I was going to make a video speculating on who it might actually be, and I was going to say Cbum could be one of those guys. So let's listen to what Fouad, Martin, Brett, and Stefan had to say on the latest episode of Bro Chat, and then we can break it down.
You ready for Prague?
Yes.
Do you know anybody else doing the show?
I know, perhaps, but I don't give you an answer.
Tell me.
No. Maybe.
Tell me who's doing the show. Tell me. Give me a hint. Give me a hint. If I can guess, you have to tell me.
Am I right?
Is he black?
So I don't know if Fouad was maybe thinking, I don't know if Fouad's playing Guess Who, where you put down the heads, but I know Mark Hector was looking insane, but I don't believe he's actually competing, because I thought it actually might have been him, but I'm not sure who he's talking about, whether it's Samson. People have talked about that. I don't think Samson's going to do that. Now, I haven't even spoken to Samson about that, so that's not any inside word or anything there, but I'm not sure who Fouad might be talking about there. But anyway, let's listen on.
I don't think you're going to guess this one, and I think it's going to, and it's going to be crazy, and it's going to be awesome.
Really?
I don't
Oh, wait.
know, Brett.
I know
What
I
who
know.
I'm talking about now.
I know what Brett's talking about.
Martin,
I don't know.
does Brett know who I'm thinking?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I know
Because
who Brett.
we-
I know who
Check
Brett's
Martin's
talking
face.
about.
So they're smiling, so that they all sort of know of someone who is competing, it seems like, in Prague at the same time as Martin Fitzwater. Who could it be? It's someone exciting. Stefan was like laughing hysterically, so it's going to be someone exciting. I don't know who that would be outside of someone like a Cbum or a really, really big name. So I was going to speculate that before Cbum put out his update. But anyway, let's listen on.
I think Fouad's catching on. I think Martin knows, and I think Stefan's way off.
I think Stefan doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
All what I say, I know two different stories, which both might be incredible if they compete.
Yes.
But one's wisdom I have in my hands.
I don't know, like hearing it could be incredible, and hearing the way these guys are reacting and the smiles they got on their face, and they're not really saying, no one's really saying anything. No one's saying anything about any names or anything like that, but you can sort of get the impression by the way they're just acting. And this was a live podcast as well, so obviously they didn't say anything, but I'm just trying to read into it as much as humanly possible because of this latest update from Chris Bumstead. And I was going to read into it anyway and start speculating on who those two names might be. But anyway, let's listen on for any additional clues.
And with the other one, I have nothing to do.
All right.
Brett knows the one that you have nothing to do with.
Okay,
Yeah,
so he doesn't know who I
know that
have
one too,
wisdom
yeah.
with.
Yeah.
Okay, I got to ask this question. Can someone tell me?
So you see the way Stefan, I'm not sure what it is, Boss of Outlaw, the way he was jumping around and super excited. I mean, that dude is, how can you not like him? But regardless, he is excited about the two names that are competing potentially in Prague that would be incredible in his own words. Now, they didn't say any names. Nothing was really alluded to, but obviously, as we know, Martin Fitzwater and Brett Wilkin were training together for that 2024 Mr. Olympia, and then obviously Brett Wilkin was training for the Legion Pro, which he ended up winning. And then Cbum joined in on some of those workouts with Martin Fitzwater and Brett Wilkin, and he was in his preparation for his 6th Classic Physique Olympia title. So, but Cbum posted up this yesterday saying, when you don't have to make weight, and then that face. So to me, with this update, the way Chris Bumstead is looking, because we know in previous years, after a contest, he doesn't keep eating the amount of food he eats. He actually I think, sort of stops eating the amount of food he eats. He sort of pigs out a little bit. He doesn't train as much, as far as I know. And right now, he's looking the biggest he's ever looked, at least in an update that I've seen. And this is what he said he would do. If you've been following Chris Bumstead like really closely and listened to all his interviews and his videos, you'll know that he said at the end of his career, maybe he'll do one open show just to see how he looks and see how he matches up. And, you know, oh, maybe I'll do that. Maybe if the Arnold Classic was after the Olympia or something, a few weeks after or a month after.
Olympia, it'll be like 4 weeks after the Olympia. You know, you put on 20 pounds and you're full and I'm not quite as dry, and kind of see how I hang with some people on a show that's around them maybe. But I'll try it maybe one day if timing lines up. We'll see. If the Arnold was like 3 to 4 weeks after the Olympia, I would do that.
That would be cool.
Say that again, Chris Bumstead. If the Arnold was 3-4 weeks after the Olympia, you would do the Arnold Classic?
Yeah.
Now, this is lining up to be, you know, a little over a month afterwards. And I think Chris Bumstead for this year's Olympia sort of pushed down a little bit too low. Now, I'm sure he wanted to push down as far as he needed to and maybe a little bit over that just in case to make sure that he was in the best condition and no one was really out conditioning him, which is what he did, but I think he was a little bit flat. So I think what we're going to see from Chris Bumstead is a completely transformed physique, and I think we could see an additional 15 pounds on that physique, which sounds crazy, but he's a tall guy. He can hold it. He looks bigger in his prep, and then I think he fades a little at the end just to make that weight and to ensure that he is going to make that weight. And my third bit of evidence that sort of confirms this to me, at least anyway, or at least confirms my theory as much as I can, or at least confirms my rumor as much as I can, because Chris Bumstead's retirement speech at the 2024 Mr. Olympia Classic Physique. So this is what he said, and there's one bit in this that sticks out to me, and I think that Chris was very, very careful with his words here.
Yeah, I think a lot of people know what's coming tonight, and it's with a really bittersweet feeling that this is going to be my last time up on the stage. The past 8 years up here have been the most amazing journey of my life.
I don't know if you guys caught that, but he said this stage. So it's going to be his last time up on this stage, or whatever he said around that. But let's listen back, and I'm pretty sure that's what he said. And I think Chris is very, very careful with his words. And really, I don't think he ever said retiring from bodybuilding completely. And I mean, he talked about being away with his family, but I think he's going to have at least a run, whether it's a 1 show, whether it's a 2 show or a 3 show run in the open division. So let's listen to him saying this stage.
This is going to be my last time up on the stage. Time up on the stage, up on the stage, up on the stage.
So last time up on this stage. So is that the Olympia stage altogether? Or is it the Classic Physique Olympia stage? Could be either one of those. So maybe, and most likely, we never see Chris Bumstead on an Olympia stage again. And if he is doing the Prague Pro, he'll be up against the 4th place finisher in the 2024 Open Mr. Olympia. And I just don't think Chris will beat that physique. But I'm very, very interested to see if he does do that show, how he would look. And it would be an epic show, and that would be a very, very interesting show. And we would be live here on Desktop Bodybuilding covering that with a live watch along. So make sure you subscribe, and I will have any information as it does drop on Chris Bumstead potentially doing the Open. But here's a little bit more of what Chris had to say in his retirement speech at the 2024 Mr. Olympia that leads me to believe that this Open comeback is possible.
Because you have faith that there's something greater for you beyond the horizon. And I've put myself out there, and I've sacrificed a lot over the past few years, and a lot of that's been mental peace. I put a lot of pressure and expectation on myself, and it's been rewarded, and I'm so grateful, but I'm ready to step down from this and let someone take this spot.
So he's saying, I'm ready to step down from this and let someone else take this spot. So he's stepping away from Classic Physique. I don't think we'll ever likely see Chris on a Classic Physique stage again, but I'd never say never, because he is big into Jordan, and Jordan made a comeback. So I think Jordan made 2 comebacks. But yeah, I think Chris will potentially come back to the Classic Physique stage one day. I think he's going to try his hand at the Open at the 2024 Prague Pro, potentially. I mean, I'm guessing at that, but I don't know. Maybe they'll bump up the prize money for that, or do some sort of really spectacular thing for Chris, or maybe they're paying him a huge fee. I would, if I had the money, and I could probably make the money back, which you probably couldn't. Maybe I wouldn't. But anyway, that's it for this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think Chris Bumstead is going to make a comeback at the 2024 Prague Pro? Anyway, that's it for me. My name's Xavier Wills. This is Desktop Bodybuilding, and we are out.